Okay, everybody, it's me, Greg Mannarino. It is still, at least I think so, Monday, October 10th, 2022. What do you want to talk about? What do we want to do here? I mean, it's just a freak show. And we heard it from a couple of freaks today, and it freaked me out. Maybe we'll start off with that before we even touch on economic news and these markets. So, your friend and mine, not really, Fed President Evans, I can't stand this man. Whenever any of these Fed presidents open their mouths, I don't know, it just ruins my freaking day. Generally, it does. Now, we heard from Fed Evans, and this is one of the creatures that they float out on a consistent basis. Either the guy can't keep his mouth shut, or, they just float him out for whatever reason. So I want to get this right here. This is a quote from The Thing, Fed Evans. Stopping inflation is job one. Now, we've been hearing that bullshit statement now for the longest time. We're going to keep raising rates, blah, blah, blah. It hasn't done a damn thing, nothing. Let me ask you before I go on here, because I feel like my blood's about to boil yet again here. When do you think, is it going to be tomorrow, next week, a month from now, or 6 months from now? People are going to wake up. Central banks, the Federal Reserve, what have they been doing? What have they been doing? Every single freaking FOMC meeting for many months now. Raising rates. Raising rates. Oh yeah, 75 basis points. Here's another one. How about another? And what is happening? What's going on here? Well, inflation continues to rise. So let me ask you this, okay? If the people aren't going to speak out, because they won't, they've been made mute, because they've been dumbed down beyond the point of recognition here, okay? When do you think one of our loving, caring politicians, friends, imbecile retards, are going to speak out? How about never? Because you see, they're part of the problem. You know what we need, people? I'm going to tell you right now what we need. I've said this a million times. We need a revolution. We need a revolution here, okay? We're being destroyed here by a central bank. All of our politicians know it. Every single one of them knows it. But what's going on here? Nothing. More spending, more cash pulled from the future, expanding wars, nuclear Armageddon talk. I mean, you name it, it's being thrown in our face here. Cost of living continues to surge out of control. People cannot make ends meet. This is getting worse and worse with, everything else that's going on here. But anyways, Fed Evans here. Stopping inflation is job number one, even if people lose their jobs. So Fed Evans is saying that the Federal Reserve wants to kill jobs. Oh, really? Let's see. Somebody around here has been explaining that the central banks, none more than the Federal Reserve, is on a mission. On a mission. Again, when are people going to take to the streets? Never. When is one of our loving, caring politicians going to say something? Never. We're going to hear the propaganda from President Imbecile. Oh, we're adding jobs. The economy is strong. We're doing fantastic, really. But right here, out of the mouth of another thing here, Fed President Evans, they're going out of their way to kill jobs. They're going out of their way, along with other central banks, to kill the global economy. Duh. Can I please get a duh now? It's too much. It's absolutely too much. And talking about things being too much. So this whole thing here with the Bank of England, quantitative easing, but don't call it quantitative easing, but it is quantitative easing. Well, they're about to double their efforts. So quantitative easing squared is about to begin. Why? Because again, you see, the Bank of England realizes that there's instability in the debt market. IMF is warning. World Bank is warning. Greg Mannarino, but everyone else except Fed President Waller, he don't see it. He thinks it's just great. Let me ask you this too while we're on that topic. How can we get rid of, not just, we should get rid of the Federal Reserve. I told you how to do it. Getting rid of the Federal Reserve is the simplest thing on the face of the earth. I mean, all we need to do, you know what I'm going to tell you, people, stop the Fed from issuing $1 single of more debt, just one. They implode, Fed goes away, and we can take back our lives. Okay, our lives are being run and dictated by central banks, which are private entities, not even part of the freaking government. How did that happen? How we are continuing to allow that to happen? When you figure that one out, let me know. So anyway, let's before we again go to the markets here, because it really was, well, other than hold that thought. Just hold that thought. So on the economic front here, this is beautiful. I mean, not really, but it's just fitting. It fits right into everything else that you and I have been talking about. And how I've been telling you virtually every day since I don't know how long. It's going to continue to get worse. Well, here we go. So U.S. mortgage demand falls to its lowest level in history. U.S. mortgage demand falls into its lowest level in history. Well, let's see. When you have a population that is being strangled to death by design by a central bank who's floated out, Evans over here saying that they're going to kill jobs. They're going to kill jobs along with the rest of the economy. But what else would you expect? Do you think that this is going to get any better? No. But where's the outcry? Honestly, where's the outcry? I'm waiting for it every freaking day, and I just don't see it. How about this one this is unbelievable. Our lovely friend Ben Bernanke is getting a Nobel Prize here for economics. This man, literally single-handedly, along with his other creatures that dwell at that point, and some still do in the Federal Reserve, brought the global economy down to its knees by design. Okay, he got everything wrong. Everything. Oh, it's contained. Don't worry. Everything is going to be fine. Now they give him a Nobel Prize. So let's put that together. You can destroy the global economy, okay? Get everything wrong, and you get a Nobel Prize. Explain that one to me. This is what I've been telling you. Could you make that up if you tried to in some kind of alternative reality? I don't know if that's even freaking possible to do. We got a warning today from Jamie Dimon, your friend and mine, again, on the economy and the markets and not doing very well and expected to do even worse. Lovely. Imagine my surprise here. Imagine you're shocked too. I can't imagine how surprised you must be right now. Anyway, let's look over at this freak show stock market. Okay, 10-year yield did nothing. It stood still. Time has stood still for the 10-year yield today because the bond market was closed. It's going to change tomorrow. And in my view, it's going to be very interesting because now we know that the Bank of England has now doubled its efforts to buy debt. They're buying it all, just like the European Central Bank. Oh, yeah, it's just lovely, isn't it? We're going to hear a narrative change pretty soon. In my view, it's building up to that. Let me cover that real quick before we get to the market, which really didn't do too much other than metals getting hit, crude oil getting hit, crypto's getting hit a little bit, and the stock market, falling under some pressure here, knee-jerk higher in the dollar. That's all well and good. It's all well and good, whatever. Okay. But what I was leading to is this 10-year yield is going to be interesting to see how that plays out tomorrow with what's going on. Now, the narrative is going to change, I think, and let's see how this plays out too. So we've been hearing, from this Fed creature and that thing over there, whatever they want to float out, the ghoul. Yeah, the ghoul too. Lex Luthor, all of them all. They're like some kind of freaking, I don't know what they are, but it's just not good, whatever it might be. They're going to start changing the narrative to, they're trying already. Now, if you recall just a day or two ago, I explained to you that they're trying to shift the food issue here. Oh, food inflation. It's getting better. It's getting better. Well, I heard from thousands of you from all over the world, and you're not seeing it, but that's what they're going to do. It's the same story. They're going to tell you relatively soon that inflation is getting better. Okay. They're going to tell you that energy prices are dropping. They're going to tell you that food prices are dropping too, even though you're paying more for everything. So that's going to be a narrative that you're going to see being pushed from the mainstream media. They're going to switch it up. Although we're going to see with our own eyes that what they're telling us is not true, they're going to push the narrative. Things are getting better. Economy is getting stronger. Inflation is coming down. They're going to float out President Mummy Man, Bidenstein. They're going to float him out, and he's going to tell you inflation is getting better. Federal Reserve is doing a fantastic job. Why don't we give everyone a Nobel Prize? Maybe that would make everyone happy. But watch for that. Watch for that soon. Maybe over the next several weeks, you're going to hear not only is our food prices coming down, which we know they're not. Okay, I shop too, just like you. You're going to hear about energy. You're going to hear about just the cost of living. It's miraculously getting better. And then, of course, they're going to institute some more programs here so they can pull more cash into the now, nuclear Armageddon ×2, some new disease process that they have to fund, whatever it might be. They're going to throw that in your face too, because again, look, they can't stop, and you know that. Every imaginable thing you can conceive of, dream about, foam at the mouth over, spray your shorts about, whatever it is, okay, they're gonna throw at everyone because that's the mechanism. You see, they can't tell people that. Imagine if they explain to people, hey, you know what? We can't have a budget. We have to keep doing these stopgap measures to fund the government because we can't have a budget because we can't tell any of you that the system demands that we continue to pile on debt more and more and more every freaking single day and dilute the value of the currency, which is creating inflation. It has nothing to do with rates. Imagine if we had a real person sitting behind the Resolute desk, not some puppet that they put there to get people to look up to. I love you. Oh, I mean, come on. That's what they do. These people are chosen because of their characteristics, because of their narratives, because of the way they look a lot of times, the way that they have an ability to polarize people. Every single one of these things that they put behind the Resolute desk, our votes don't matter at all. They put who they want there, and then they create whatever controversies they have to float out there to keep people in some kind of state of disarray. It's all part of the game. You understand? Nothing is what it seems to be at all. All right, people. This guy here loves you a lot. Please comment. What do you think about these things here? I'll tell you something. Reading the comments helps me not have a meltdown because sometimes I feel like I'm all alone out here. And then I look through the comments and I see, 90% of you are feeling the same way as I do. So it makes me feel like, better. Anyway, I'm out of here. Love you a lot. See you in the morning. Comment, share the video. That's all.